It's Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services and PACE, the Professional Association for Customer Engagement. I have a chance to talk to our keynote speaker today, Amy Walter from the Cook Political Report. Amy, great to have you visit here today, hear your remarks. One question I asked actually was that in looking at the election this year and in 2020, the strong economy, low employment rate doesn't seem to be a big factor to voters. Why is this, do you think?
Because voters right now, while they may be happy about the economy, they're not happy about the direction of the country, and many Americans not happy with the president himself. Their approval ratings of the president are much lower than their approval ratings of the economy. And so they can hold two of those things in separate hands. They can say, yes, I like the economy, but this year I'm voting against the president who I don't approve of. And the challenge for Republicans then is to say, well, how do we get those voters re-engaged, right? So what they would like the election to be about is what's going to happen if Democrats take control of Congress. They're going to put a stop to this good economy. They're going to slow us down. They're going to try to push legislation through that's going to reverse the strong economy. But right now, the energy is really on the side of being a referendum on Trump himself, not on Democrats, and not even on the policies.
Amy, we're at PACE focused on the communication industry, contact center, major employer around the country. Been efforts on deregulation, on privacy, looking at the European community's data privacy law. What factors are working on data privacy, do you feel in Washington today?
When we think about these issues, it's one of those that voters talk a lot about. They say that they're worried about privacy. There was a lot of discussion, for example, in Washington, but even outside of Washington about things like net neutrality and what that could mean to consumers. But it is not sort of permeating the conscience of voters in the same way that issues like healthcare and the cost of living really do. And so I do think it's one of these issues that is important to voters, but it is not as sort of central to their vote as the basic day-to-day issues that they're concerned with. Usually, how do I pay for the kinds of stuff that I need? How much is it going to cost to fill up my car? How much is it going to cost to get groceries? And how much is it going to cost for me to keep my family covered by health care?
So one point you made really I resonated was some voters think, could we go back to normal the way things were, but have the internet, mobile phones, the 24/7 news cycle just changed the world entirely? What do you think? Is there a chance to go back to the civility of the past?
I think that we're going to, I hate this term new normal, but that's the only term that I can think of to describe what happens after new technology comes in. Our society struggles with how do we integrate it, what do we do with it, how do we act with it. We fumble along for a while, and then we kind of come to a place that we're comfortable with and we agree on that. That happened with radio and television, and now it's with the internet. And, at some point we're going to have another new technology that's going to upend everything we know now, and we have to make up new rules for that. So this feels like something we've been through before. It's just going to be different, but it doesn't mean it's always going to look exactly like it did in 2016.
Absolutely. Amy Walter from the Cook Political Report, visiting us here at PACE, Professional Association for Customer Engagement. Great to meet you.
It's great to meet you. Thank you. Great questions.
Pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services and PACE, Professional Association for Customer Engagement.